I did get to see a lot of what went on with the All-Star games. I want to say this. First off, it was nice to see the Pacific win the whole thing. It's the little mini tournament, and it's kind of fun. It was fun to see Crosby and Ovechkin together. I swear, if those two were on the same line, but Goudreau and Besser, I gotta say, Calgary, if you guys had drafted Besser to play with Goudreau, that would have been an absolutely insanely deadly duo to have on the ice together. Just throwing that out there. Brock gets the MVP, and I swear I had nothing to do with it. I swear I had nothing to do with the vote. And it's funny because at the end, Jim Houston said, so Canuck fans everywhere are saying, see, we told you he's good. And there is an element of that. There's an element of Brock Besser's doing well, but he's a Canuck. So Canuck fans just get overly excited about these guys. He's probably not that good. He is that good. He won the accuracy contest last night. Looked damn good doing that. And now today, he looks really good, really solid. And I think what stood out for me with him is his maturity level. And that's true of a lot of rookies right now. The maturity level of these kids coming into the league is awesome. And it's part of the reason why they're adapting faster. Players are getting younger in the NHL because these kids don't have that learning curve that they had, say, 10, 20 years ago. It's kind of awesome. The Central gets knocked out in the first game. I thought PK Subban had a half-decent game in that one. And then the Metro gets knocked out in the second game, and then the Atlantic takes the loss to the Pacific in the final. It was nice to see all those Tampa players on the ice together. Seeing the 3-on-3 hockey, it really showed just how silly it was when Hedman went out and we're talking about all points going in and he's not a defenseman. Maybe we need to rethink the 3-on-3 All-Star game and just not care about whether they're forwards or defensemen and just name the best players. Just say these are the best players, and oh well, this team doesn't have any defensemen. Oh well. There was a lot of defense played in this game. I think that the surprising thing was there wasn't hits, but I can remember not that long ago when you watch an All-Star game, and this is 5-on-5 hockey, you just watch guys skate around each other, and puck would go in the net, and everybody'd laugh, puck was in the net, and there's still some of that there, but this seemed a lot more competitive. Now, part of it is because they've increased the amount of money that you win if you win the All-Star game. So if your team wins the All-Star game, you get a nice chunk of change. And coaches get a good share of that too. They said they were talking to Gerard Gallant, and then the announcer said, well, we don't know if Gerard Gallant gets any of that or if he just gets things said like free dinner at Denny's or made some joke like that. And I thought, don't you guys have access to that? Because I'm pretty sure coaches get more money too if they coach the winning team. And it's substantial. And it's made the games a lot more competitive than what they were. It was weird seeing Brad Marchand on the ice while he's suspended from regular games. I agree with people who say that he shouldn't have been allowed to play. And there was obviously a really negative feeling from Tampa fans towards him, even though at certain points during the game he was paired up with Tampa Bay Lightning players. And then they talked about how Marchand kind of played it up for the fans and whatnot. Marchand always plays up to the crowd. That's not really anything new. It's just what he does. And it was what the All-Star game is. I think there are those of us who say, oh, if the All-Star game is just what? What do you want the All-Star game to be? You look at the Pro Bowl in football, you look at the All-Star game in baseball. They're not fantastic games for the most part. Major League Baseball, there's been a few All-Star games that were pretty darn good. But the Pro Bowl is kind of, because you don't have players from the 2 Super Bowl teams there. And the All-Star game is always going to be a meh experience. The idea of the All-Star game and the reason why it works is because the overall weekend, what it does, and the interaction with fans and all of the fun stuff like the skills competition, the games will never be as good. The games will never be as solid as a real NHL game. But right now, I think we're as close as we've been in my lifetime. As I said, that final, that was competitive. That was some good hockey. There was some fun stuff to be had, and that's why the scores have come down. That's why you saw goal challenged, actual challenge to a goal, and it was called back. And then, of course, there was the fun moment, too, with Austin Matthews and Jack Eichel where they do the point at the net like that's a good goal. And that was fun. Um, there's some fun stuff to be had. Uh, All-Star Weekend is about having a good time. And that's what I think all the players did. And, hey, Brock Besser came out of it with a car and a payment for being on the winning team in the whole tournament. So he's probably pretty happy. And why wouldn't he be? But I thought it was fun. I know there's people who say it was boring. Of course it was. There were points during it where I was kind of falling asleep. Although I kind of attribute that to the fact that I wasn't done with last night's power rankings till about 3 in the morning my time, about quarter after. And I was back up at about 8:30 this morning. Didn't get out of bed till 9:30, but I was having trouble sleeping from 8 o'clock on. So I kind of zonked. So during the more pedestrian parts of the All-Star game, I was kind of passing out. Parts of it were tough to watch, but that's normal with any All-Star game. And honestly, it's just as hard to watch when the score is 13-10 as it is when it's 4-2 and it's no hitting and it's 3-on-3. Some fun stuff today, though. I'd be interested to know what you guys think, what you guys thought of the games, and the overall weekend. Hit like and subscribe buttons if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, I did do 2 live streams today on my Entertainment Guy channel. During the men's rumble and then during the women's rumble. So if you're at all interested in wrestling, go on over there and check out the streams that have just posted there. It was live reaction. I had the TV turned down, so you shouldn't be able to hear the audio clearly, because again, I don't want to get in trouble with WWE. I don't want to get any kind of strikes on that channel. But it was some fun, and there was some hockey questions asked in there too, because that's what happens. The hockey crowd's gonna bleed over to that too. But yeah, so let me know what you guys thought about today. And I will talk to you again soon.